What is up, Diozy fans? Today, we'll be reviewing one of the most out-of-place books in one of the craziest prophecies, Wings of Fire Book 8, Escaping Peril. Before we begin, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and also, timestamps are in the description. If I put them, sometimes I might not be able to. But with it, let's first go to the announcements. So if you're wondering why I haven't been posting for the last week, school's begun and I'm really stressing over it, which is why I've decided to go 1 or 2 videos a week. Last week I was able to put out a video, this week I'm able to put out one. I'm not dead or anything like that, and I do put comments on there just so that people can see. And see, I'm also almost done with the book 10, and I have 2 amazing video ideas which are going to be coming out very soon. So, don't forget to hit the notifications. But with it, let's begin. Overview. Okay, so the basic summary of the book that I can give you is that Peril is there, and she wants the approval of Clay, and Scarlet is threatening her Clay and the whole Jade Mountain. So she escapes, but she escapes with Peril. With Turtle, and they make friends. Then Turtle ends up backtracking off to be with his friends. So Peril just goes alone with his sort of new father, Chameleon, with Scarlet, takes over the kingdom, feels bad, saves Ruby, finds out Ruby's actually Tourmaline, and Tourmaline doesn't want to be Ruby and don't want to be herself, so she becomes Ruby, defeats Scarlet, rips her head off, which I'm really happy about, and done deal. Peril screws over the whole kingdom. Oh crap, I just spoiled it. Anyway, so that's the basic summary. Now the setting is by far one of the most reused settings. All these settings are not to be amazed about. Obviously, I'm really happy that we finally got more of the Sky Kingdom, because that is honestly just really amazing. So that's an amazing setting. Other than that, the best other setting that I could find out was basically pretty much nowhere, actually. The Sky Kingdom was literally the only new good setting that they introduced. Possibility, that was a setting already. The Meadow is not much like a new setting. And Jade Mountain, we've already been there. So, yeah, obviously, there's no new settings except this one, which I'm honestly fine with. Story. Okay, plot points. Okay, so the biggest plot point of here is that Peril, her story is a plot point in itself. Her flame skills and her approval arc. And this is a decent arc, and I love the way that Tweety executed this. It's amazing. And honestly, I feel like this is a really, really hot take, but I don't find Peril as annoying as I thought she would be. In the beginning of the book, I just was like, I'm gonna hate this book, because all Peril talked about was Clay, and throughout the first 5 chapters or so, I just got annoyed with her. But then, after a little bit, she's really good main character. She has one of the best main character vibes, and that's what I truly love about her plot. Overall, the plot moves perfectly. There were some amazing plot twists, like Chameleon, who's basically the only Rainwing. It is pretty funny, but other than that, there was also the Ruby Tourmaline plot twist. The main reason that the Chameleon plot point hit more than the Ruby Tourmaline plot point was, while we got introduced to both characters on the first time, Peril's father had become a big question. We know Peril's mother. We know that he has a dead brother, or sort of. But we never know that she had a father and who he was. So it was crazy plot reveal that he was not just a Skywing, but also a Rainwing. Whereas the fact with Ruby being Tourmaline, sort of, we got introduced to both of these characters properly in the beginning of the book. And sure, we have seen Ruby, but we didn't even know who Tourmaline was until the beginning of the book, because no one even knew she existed, whereas we knew that Peril did have a father. We didn't know that Scarlet had a second daughter, which is the reason that I feel like that plot point really falls off for me a little bit. Anyway, now let's move on to one of my favorite parts and the longest part of this video, characters. Well, first let's go to the main character, Peril. Honestly, Peril's going to be that one person that you read for a bit and then she's really annoying, but then she just does a whole 180 and becomes very good. I'm gonna keep all the characters short, but there's a lot of them, so it might take some time. But honestly, Peril was an amazing character. There's not much to say about her. She has that main character vibe, which I truly do love about her. Now let's move on to the main villain, Queen Scarlet. I think Scarlet was by far the best villain of Wings of Fire. I don't know why I say this. I just feel like she just is the pure villain, and that makes her the best villain. So obviously, she's going to be one of my favorite villains. I especially love the fact that she's a good villain is the way that when I read about Ruby ripping off Scarlet's head, I just got so happy. And when I told this to my like friend, he was like, "What? So you're saying?" And like it's just funny. And seeing Scarlet die, giving you joy, is what you're supposed to have. So yeah, Scarlet's a great written character. Turtle, I think, is by far a good character. I'm currently reading Talons of Power. I was reading it. I'm almost finished with it, and I feel like Turtle overall, like getting his perspective, but also just him alone, is one of the greatest characters of WoW. I feel like Turtle, if you read his perspective, which is coming soon, it's going to be literally just us. Like if we're reading the book, Turtle is us. So yeah, like that. So those are the sub main characters, and now let's go to some side characters. Ghibli and Moon, amazing pair. We only got them like for just like one or two chapters, but they did a decent job. Not too amazing. Chameleon, I hate him. That's all I gotta say. Cliff and the baby, like all Cliff and every single dragonette is the best key element. Honestly, they just give me so much fun reading them. Cliff especially. Cliff's one of my favorite characters. I know he's a 1 year old or so, but he's the best 1 year old dragonette. And Ruby overall is just an amazing character. All the characters are done so well in the second arc, I realize. Okay, now for my personal thoughts slash feelings of the book. Honestly, I feel like this is the second book that no, this is actually the book that I showed most emotions. Like, sure, Darkstalker was the first book ever to make me cry, but this book made me cheer like no other. I was literally going, hurrah, Jose, and I could not stop smiling when everything was going well and Peril finally figured out how evil Scarlet was and everything. I was just so happy. It just gave me so much joy that honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Wait, honestly, I truly do recommend this book for anyone who just loves to read. So, yeah. So, what is my final rating of Escaping Peril? Honestly, I was gonna stoop this a little low at the beginning, but now I realize I truly do love this book, which is why it's gonna be getting an amazing, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but a 9 out of 10. And if you're wondering where that's gonna put it in the official Wings of Fire ranking, it will officially put it at number 2, which is amazing. I never really thought that it would get this high, but it did, which I'm fine of. Okay, small intersection, so the quality isn't that great, but new Discord channel. But guys, that's the end of this video. Hope a video, a sub to the channel would be honestly really amazing. But that's Diozy going out.